Are you a believer in Jesus? Do you have a faith?
Yeah, I'm a Christ follower, so
Okay.
Christian.
Nice.
And kind of brought up with it since I was young and stuff.
Yeah.
Got baptized at a young age, but really didn't fully, I feel like, understand what a relationship with Jesus looked like until later in high school and stuff.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Sweet. So now that the bell's done ringing, so the question we're asking is, in 30 seconds or less, share how Jesus has changed your life.
30 seconds or less. Man, Jesus has, I would say, the joy, the peace, the comfort that Jesus has brought in my life, not having, you still walk through stressful seasons and you still have hard times, but knowing that there's someone there besides you that is there for you, and regardless of what happens, knowing that for eternity, I'll be in heaven, and the peace that comes along with decisions, and I don't know, it just like really gives me so much like meaning in life, and it gives me a hope and a joy, because I know ultimately that regardless of whatever happens, like there's someone else besides me, there's a God that loves me and that cares for me and that's there for me of whatever happens.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's sweet. Perfect answer.
Okay, 30 seconds is hard. I grew up in the church.
Yep.
But I think when I got to college is when I really started seeing like the difference it made in my own life when I prioritized him over stuff like schoolwork or social stuff. And especially like sometimes it makes it harder because, you know, you have to make choices that you don't want to make.
Yeah.
That glorify him instead of what you want to do.
Yeah.
But like the peace that comes with that, whenever you like, I have so much confidence knowing that I'm making those choices for the right thing, because I've seen the evidence in like the difference in like my joy and like contentment with my life as a whole. The relationships that I have with other people, they're just so much better now that I am like trying to make choices that glorify him.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that was 30 seconds.
Perfect. All right, so in 30 seconds or less, share how Jesus has changed your life.
Well, I was probably the wickedest man who ever walked the earth. And I've been told that if I accepted Christ, I'd be forgiven. I didn't want to be forgiven. I needed to be changed. And it took me a long time to find people who actually believed that through Christ, we could be free. And when I saw that and accepted that and followed him, he set me free.
Yeah.
And I no longer walk in unrighteousness. I walk in freedom. That's the good news.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so you sit out here often to tell people about Jesus. I remember when I was here several years ago, I remember your sign. How have you seen Jesus change other people's life while being out here?
Well, let's see, there is a young woman who came here as a student. She was a martial arts enthusiast. She was wearing very immodest clothing, and through accepting, she had already accepted Christ. She didn't have anyone to help her walk the way, and now she dresses very modestly. She has studied Arabic in Jordan, and she spent a few years in Turkey working with Syrian refugees. And she and her husband, who also has been in the mission field, are living their life in total preparation to go out into the world and build the kingdom. They expect to be in the mission field their whole lives.
In 30 seconds or less, share how Jesus has changed your life.
I grew up in the church. I grew up in a Christian family, and then when I got older, I started making really bad decisions, and I just like very much felt like a huge weight and burden on my life. And so then like the past 2 years, I like slowly started getting back into it, and I literally just have found so much freedom in the Lord, and just so much of like how he completely takes that off. And like when he died on the cross, like he took all of my shame, he took all of my mistakes, he took all of my sins, and he nailed it to the cross. And it's not something I have to carry forever. It's not something I have to deal with. It's not something I ever have to carry again. Like knowing that like all of my mistakes and burdens have been nailed there, and like finding true freedom and like what that really looks like has genuinely changed my life so much.
I would say it's given me direction.
Yeah.
And just like something to like live by
Yeah,
for the most part.
that's cool.
Yeah.
What would you say? Anything?
I'd feel like, giving you purpose on what you want to do in life. You obviously want to be a good person, but, going to church, which you just know what you want to do. And,
That's
what God has planned for you.
Yeah, that's cool. If a question I like to ask is if Jesus was here with us right now, if he was the one talking instead of me, how do you think he'd feel about you?
I would
Put in some work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or what do you think he'd say?
Just keep your head up.
Yeah.
Keep going after what you believe in.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I agree. Do you care if I share my answer? I feel like if he was here, if he was me talking to you guys, I agree. I think he'd say, a lot of people, when they think about Jesus, they think, shame on you, like this big, scary, guy. But that would have been my answer. If I was y'all and somebody asked me that when I was in college, I would have been like, he would hate me because I'm a screw up. I'm, it's the word sin. I'm a sinner. I do all. And I thought for sure God hates me. He's mad at me. And my mom died whenever I was a kid. And I thought, see, Jesus hates me because I'm a screw up. And see, now my mom's gone. But in college, somebody approached me similar to what I'm doing. And it just led me to this journey of understanding, Jesus, he died for me on the cross and he made a way for me to know him. He's not mad at me. He's not out to get me. He actually is. He died to make a way for me to know him. And so, my life has changed because of Jesus. And that's what we hope to try to, get out here and help others see, like, hey, it can change your life too. No matter what you've done, where you've gone, he wants us to know him and like really know him, not necessarily know, about him from a distance, but like a relationship and know him. All right, in 30 seconds or less, share how Jesus has changed your life.
I mean, he's just got me through a lot of dark times, like a lot of things that I've been struggling with and a lot of things that I've been through. He's used them for good and helped me grow in my relationship with him and in my relationship with my friends and like all of my friends. And we've just been seeing a lot of fruit in that. And, you have your own plan, but, God has his own timing and you just have to trust that. And I think that's what I've been trying to find out and really trust recently. So I think that's really what he's been doing in my life recently.
Perfect.
So I feel like Jesus came into my life when I was really little. And I like growing up in church, I was just like, always like, okay, do the right things. And then it was like coming into college, I started making the wrong decisions and I felt like I was a terrible person. And like the Lord just kind of opened my eyes of like, I was always his and I kept trying to shy away from the Lord. And he always just had to remind me to like turn back to him because he never left my side. Like I always had a relationship with him, but I just kept trying to run. And so instead of running away from the Lord, I decided like coming into college, I'm going to turn back to him. And he kind of just like gave me that grace and that mercy of just like reminding me that he does love you. Like you're going to make mistakes, you're going to learn, and you just have to turn back to him at the end of it. So, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get real personal. When I was like 7 years old, my mom passed away.
Yeah.
It was second grade.
Wow.
And it took me I was angry. I didn't know who to be angry at. And I was like, I have this faith and like, why would he let, something this awful happen?
Yeah.
It took me 6 years to really come back around.
Yeah.
And I went to church, I went to Young Life, I did all that fun stuff. Yeah. And prayed really hard about it. And in 8th grade, I kind of had the revelation. I was like, okay, there's a reason for everything.
Yeah.
She's in a better place. She's not hurting anymore.
Yeah.
She was a lot worse off here than she is now.
Yeah.
And from there on, it just kind of skyrocketed and just really, I think that really cemented my faith.
That's cool.
From that point.
Yeah. So how old were you there when you were open to
8th grade? What was that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah. So it's ironic because, your story is almost exactly mine. My mom, when I was 8, was diagnosed with brain cancer. And when I was 12, so right around that middle school age, my mom passed away to brain cancer. And my response was exactly yours, like, screw you, God. Like, why would you do that to me? And so I just responded to that happening to me with anger and lots of fighting, lots of just crazy stuff. Anything I could do that was just rebellious.
I had someone to take it out on.
Exactly.
But I thought ultimately underneath all of it, like you said, God must be mad at me because
It's
of this. Yeah. But that's how Jesus changed my life, is in a simple way of me saying is that that's not true. That, like you said, God, he works things out for our good, but that he loves us and that he's for us. And yes, that happened to people like me and you, but you know, he can take that and even be able to now, maybe you stand here someday interviewing someone and they share their story and you're like, hey, I know what that's like.
Right.
But man, God is still good and Jesus is still worth following. So anyways, thanks for answering. It's pretty cool. Our stories are so similar.